Great to be back out and welcome to another video. Now I'm down at a place called Pit Meadows at the moment. It is 5 o'clock in the morning, but there's a reason behind that and I'm going to tell you. Now I came out yesterday, I got up at about 4 o'clock, not planning to photograph sunrise. I just wanted to get out nice and early, take my time, have breakfast and just have a slow drive out, heading to Golden Ears Park where I was last week. The sunrise was really nice, so I pulled over on the side of the road and I thought I'll shoot some video. There was some ducks in this river leading over to the mountains where the sunrise was. It was beautiful. And I looked over my right shoulder and there was a heron fishing in the river below. So it was a perfect start to the day. Now I was heading back to the car and I looked down this road and I noticed there was a coyote running across the road, so I thought I'll get some video before it runs off. As soon as I hit the record button, it snuck off into the bushes, so I missed it. So I put my stuff in the car and it kind of intrigued us to see where the coyote had gone, so I followed the road, took a right and it had gone. So because it was still early, I thought I'm near Pit Meadows and near Pit Lake, I'll have a drive up. So I started driving up the road and I was passing these fields because we have a lot of blueberry farms here and there's a coyote in the field. So I pulled the car over, got out the car and videoed this coyote. As soon as I got out the car you could see the coyote watching us, but that made my day. It was brilliant. It's always good to capture wildlife and it adds so much more to the video. I really enjoy watching it myself and looking back and seeing what I've seen on the day rather than just looking at images. So I did go to Golden Ears, but unfortunately I was there for about an hour and a half, and it did start to rain. And I thought, you know what, I'll sit it out in the car because I hadn't walked far from the car. So I went back to the car and literally sat in the car for 2 hours. The rain stopped, I got back out, tried again, and then made it down to this canyon where there's a bit of a river. And it started raining again, so I just quit. I just went back to the car. Sometimes you've got to know when to give up. So it kind of gives us the bug to get out today. Now I got up today at 3 o'clock because I've been down Pit Meadows and it had intrigued us with the coyote, and there's a lot of wildlife around here. I thought, I'm going to get up early in the morning, come out here, listen to the dawn chorus and see if I can see any wildlife down here before I head on to Golden Ears Park. So I've got a bit of a treat for you. I came down here first thing, drove up to the lake. Now the lake's still closed off, so you can't park right at the top. So this is me just heading back up. But on the side of the road there I pulled over and there was a bit of a pond, like a bit of a stream leading off, and there's a family of beavers. Now not many people get to see them because you've either to be up super late or you have to be up super early in the morning. So I have got to show you some video footage of this beaver. So I'm going to pack up now, head to Golden Ears Provincial Park. It's not far from here and we'll see if we can capture any images today, because yesterday I had no luck at all. Now the forecast today is the chance of showers this morning. I knew there wasn't going to be a sunrise, but it didn't really matter because I wasn't here for that purpose. It was just to see if I could see any wildlife. And yeah, we'll see how the day pans out. Fingers crossed that we get some images up at Golden Ears. Absolutely amazing. Well, that's the beavers disappeared now. They've gone. What a pleasure to see. Totally makes it worth getting up out of bed at 3 this morning to come and see the wildlife. And it just shows you get up early enough and no one else is about. You get to see things that people never get to see. So I hope you enjoy this footage of the beavers. I'm going to head on to Golden Ears Provincial Park now. It still is dry, but they said there is a chance of showers, but the sun's supposed to make its way out later on and hopefully we'll get some images. But that this morning, no words can describe. Absolutely brilliant. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video of the beavers. How amazing was that? Now I've made it to Golden Ears. It is overcast, it's very cloudy, and we haven't got any light coming in here at the moment. The light that's here, there's a bit of an opening in the forest. Like I said last time, it lets that ambient light from the sky come in. But I just wanted to show you the scale of the size of the trees. Absolutely amazing every time I come, and it gets harder every time I come as well to see shots. The one thing I've found here is don't try and look too hard, you know, just do your walk, and anything that strikes you, you know, see if there's a composition, see if there's an image there. Now I do like this tree behind. You've got a bit of a clearing here, and it really is nice. It's like one tree, but it splits off into many trees, and because it's got this bit of light coming in on the side, I think it actually might make for an image. Now I don't know yet, I've just got here, but this is the first thing that struck us when I've walked by. So the composition that I'm going for, I've got some ferns at the front there that you can see at the bottom of the frame. I've got some trees at the right hand side which I want to include, and these trees at the left hand side with the mosses and that on, and they're just catching some of that light in the background there. But the main focus is going to be on this tree here, especially because it's still dark in this area, so it should really pop, it should really stand out. It has started to rain unfortunately, but I knew that was going to be the case. But as long as it's not as bad as it was yesterday, because yesterday it was terrible. You know, the weather was against us yesterday. The sunrise was beautiful. We got to see the coyote, but sometimes you got to know when to quit. But this seems to work really well. Now I'm shooting at f8, focusing straight on this tree, and that's going to make the foreground nice and soft and make the tree stand out a lot more. I'm shooting it on the 70-200 to compress the scene, just so you focus more on this tree. But I'm also going to try focus stacking it as well, just to see, just out of interest to see what it's like, including some of the ferns that you can see at the bottom of the frame. And it gives us the option when I get home, you know, I can see if I like it sharp right through the shot or I like it soft at the beginning, with the main focus being on these trees. So don't always be put off because you haven't got them rays of light coming in, because you don't always need it. Just work with the reflection of the sky, and that gives you your highlights where you want the highlights. Well, I'm just making my way through the forest here, but you'll probably be able to hear it's absolutely chucking it down. It's not too bad where I'm at now, it's pretty sheltered. I've been walking through some of the trails just before the rain started. But because I'm not too far from the car, I'm going to go and sit it out in the car and see if this rain stops. You know, it's not worth getting your camera gear soaked. You might as well just sit it out and see if the rain stops. I'm hopeful that we got an image earlier on there, so if all else fails we've got something today. But I really do think we'll get out later on. Of what the forecast said, it said it was going to start raining towards midday and then it was supposed to peter off, so we'll just have to see. So back to the car, have a coffee, sit and chill, and we'll see if we get back out. But it really is such a beautiful place, even if it is raining. The rain's finally stopped, but it is a lot later in the day. I actually went home because I sat in the car for close on 2 hours and the rain, it just wasn't letting up at all. So what I decided to do was head home, and it got to around about 4 or 5 o'clock and I noticed there was a bit of blue sky there and there was still some nice cloud. So rather than just ending the video short, I thought I'll drive back out. So here I am, it's about 6:30 at night. Now I found this lovely stream. It really is beautiful. Now if you see us flapping my arms about, I'm being attacked by these, I don't know, like yellow flies. They're probably all over the lens at the moment. But I love this forest stream. Now this stream runs under the road. I'm right next to the roadside where you head up to the trail. It's just all these green mosses. There's so much interest there. I think it'll make a really nice shot. I love the fact that you've got this log going across a bit of a stream. You've got these mossy branches leading in the middle of the scene, like a bit of a trunk leading off in the top left corner. So that's how I put the composition. I just love the greens of these mosses and the rocks. Now the river isn't moving that quick. I tried the 24mm first and I didn't like it. It was too wide. The log was really small in the frame. Now there's actually a log in front of us here and I tried to include that with the wider lens, but I just found it didn't work. So what I've done is I've put the 70-200 back on. I've got the polarizer on just to take a bit of the glare off these rocks. Now I'm using a quicker shutter speed. I don't want to make the water super soft because there's no point. I need the detail there and some of the highlights there just to show you the stream leading off. So it's not going to be all that silky water like people normally do, which I don't always like anyway. Now I've got the stream leading from left to right and then away off into the distance. I've included this tree trunk to the left hand corner to give it a bit of, you know, make sure I try and fill the frame with a lot of interest. So I'll be interested to see how this image turns out, and it was well worth jumping back in the car and coming back out this evening. Well, we've got a bit of cloud that comes over now and again and it shields the sunshine, and I took a walk up further up the trail just past the river there, and then I headed back. Now I had a look at the image of the river when I was walking up to the next part of the trail, and I wasn't so keen because it seemed a bit too bright. It wasn't what I had in mind. But because we've got a little bit of cloud covered and every now and again the sun gets covered, I walked past the river again and it had fell into darkness, but you still had the light in the centre. Now I liked it a lot better, so I retook the shot. It just works so much better. You've got the light where I wanted it. It doesn't matter about the edges being dark, because that's what I wanted. I just wanted a nice forest scene with this river just leading through the forest. So I've headed a bit further up. It's a bit later in the day now. The sunlight's more or less behind the mountain now, but we still get the ambient light off the sky coming in. So once the clouds cleared, you get this light coming in the side. Now, I've found the forest scene that I've been looking for since I've been here, because I've always wanted to be able to show off these green ferns with the mossy trees, but I've just never found the image. I've just never found the composition. Now I've found it, and it really does look good. I always wanted it so I had some sort of interest in the foreground, and I've never been able to find that. It's always just been ferns and then the trees behind, and a bit simple. You know, I wanted something to add to the foreground. So I've got this fallen tree with these branches and they're just coming over the top of the ferns, and I've got this log leading from the right to the middle of the frame. But when I step to the side, to the right, you can also see the carpet of ferns all the way to the back of the forest. And when you get a bit of light coming in, it looks amazing. So that's the composition that I'm going for, and I'm so pleased I came across it. If I took the shot from here, you've got a tree. This is going to be the tree in front, but you've got a tree directly behind. So if you go off to the right hand side, it hides it behind that tree, because I want all the trees at the front to be separate. Then you're going to have this view of the carpet of ferns going all the way to the back of the forest. We're just starting to get some light in. Every now and again we get a blast of light, and it's just enough to light the tops of these ferns and light the highlights on the mosses in the trees, and it just looks, it really does. It looks like everything I've been looking for. So it's probably going to be my favourite image of the day of what I can see up to now. I'm shooting it at f11. I'm going to focus stack it. I'm going to take 2 shots because I want to show these ferns with the branches coming out and the log. So I want it sharp right through the image, and I think that really works. If it was a bit more shaded and we didn't have as much foreground, I'd probably just have it soft and then have it sharp in the middle of the frame to the back. But because we have got some foreground interest, it's going to work sharp right through the shot, and we have got a lot more light coming in. So I'm just going to wait for this light to come in and grab the image. Really pleased I found it. I'm just walking up the forest road here. The last of the lights just dip behind the mountain there. So I got to see the forest wake up, and now I'm getting to see the forest go to sleep. It's been an absolute brilliant day. Thoroughly enjoyed it. You know, even yesterday, just getting out of bed and making the effort, we got that beautiful sunrise, got to see some wildlife, and then we got to do it all again today. So if there's one thing I can suggest to you, if you can be bothered to get out of bed really early, definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. And if photography wasn't a challenge, if we didn't have to battle with the weather and battle with the light, I don't think it would be the same. You'll probably be able to see the sun has set now behind the mountains. Hope you can see us okay. The forest below's dropped into darkness now, so I've came up onto this bit of a raised section of the forest. You've got the mountains behind. Everything's quiet and peaceful. The last of the birds are tweeting away there. And it's an end to a brilliant day. It's been a challenging day. It's been hectic at times, especially when we had that downpour of rain. You know, I carried on walking on the trails. I didn't think it was going to come to anything, and then the heavens just opened. Made me way back to the car. And I was sat in the car close to 2 hours, hoping for it to stop. But it didn't stop, so I made my way back home. But even when I got back home, I was on edge because I just wanted to get back out, because the morning started off so well with the beavers and seeing all that wildlife. It really did spur us on just to want to be out for the full day. So as soon as I seen the clouds part and a bit of blue sky and a bit of sunshine, I got back in the car, put my bag in the car, and I drove back out here. You know, it's not too far, it's about 45 kilometres from my home, so I'm pretty lucky that way. Next time I want to do some of these hikes here on the sign that you can see. One of them's to Golden Knees at the top. It's 12 kilometres up and 12 kilometres back. But there's another one, Alder Flats I think it's called, which is 6 kilometres there and 6 kilometres back. So that'll be a good one to break us in for doing the big one. So I really do hope you've enjoyed the video today. You know, it's been brilliant for me to take the video and take the images, and I do think we've got a couple, so I'm really looking forward to getting back and seeing what I've captured. Now, coming out this evening's been a great test for us because I am back at work now, you know, so it's going to be harder getting out and doing videos, but I'm going to try my best. Now, sunrises, as you know, like 5 o'clock in the morning, and they're getting earlier still, so it's quite hard to get out and do videos. So if I can come after work through the week, you know, I finish work at 4:30, and I know I can be out here for 6:15, round about that time. Now, I'm going to lose most of the sunlight because it dips behind the mountains. We still have got some ambient light, but when I got here earlier, you know, there was sufficient light to make photographs. So that's why it was good to get out this evening. And I was glad that the rain stopped to allow us to do so. I could have cut the video short this morning, but I really do want to film my videos with as much content as I can. You know, I don't want to resort to doing what's in my bag and all them type of videos. I'd rather just go out, you know, if I get stuck in rain, I'd rather wait, go back out again. So my videos have got a lot more interest and a lot more content to show you, the viewer. So I hope you join us again for another video. Like I said, I've got these hikes to do, so I'm looking forward to taking you along. I'm going to have a slow walk back to the car. I'm not too far away from the car. Probably have a drive down to the lake and see what it's like for Blue Hour. And I'll capture some video if I head down there. So if you've enjoyed today's video, you've enjoyed the content, please subscribe, it's much appreciated. I welcome all my new subscribers. You know, I hope you enjoy my channel. Hit the notification bell and you're going to see future videos. So I hope to see you again next time. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.